Well, write this down as another reason that I'm not in the concrete business. It's 4:30 in the morning and we're getting started on this. They're getting started on this. I mentioned earlier that we would not have plastic. They said they usually put plastic down, so we're gonna have plastic. And I'm fine with that. I was just nervous about how to put it down below the foam. They're gonna put it above the foam. And so this will work, well, it'll work well. They didn't know if it was necessary either with the styrofoam, but it's, as one of my friends used to say, belt and suspenders. How do you say that?
Do you have any doubt about the strength of the styrofoam now?
5:05 and the first concrete truck has arrived. Sorry.
I don't have my big lights installed up here yet. No power at all, but I intend to have big lights someday.
The pump is able to pump up the entire length of the building. He said about 75 foot from the front bumper, and so he drove in just a little bit, as you see here.
Looks wet, doesn't it?
Looks awful wet. But what do I know?
I know we can't let the cats out today.
Right.
Most of them have taped their boots up except for 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
I specifically asked for this rebar here. It is extending over that little area of concrete that we poured there in the doorway. Hopefully this will keep the concrete from cracking, or at least separating there where I did that pour. That's the only rebar used in the entire project. The concrete does contain fiber. That's the more modern way of keeping it together.
This work okay for clean out?
Yeah. People are just gonna have to not backwash and flush a bunch of water out of it, right?
I don't think I can see much.
No.
So one concrete truck ready to leave, another one coming in. Like a well-oiled machine.
This is the wash bay drain. I'm hoping we got a good amount of concrete under there. We won't know till we remove the forms. We've gone a bit deeper at every doorway, probably about 10 inches deep in those areas. I've heard a lot of different opinions about how much that needs to be. Of course, the big door, we did pour a much deeper footer, 2.5 to 3 foot deep over there.
Truck number 2 is already washing out. It's 5:35. And truck number 3 is already delivering to the pumper truck. Okay, looks like truck number 3, I think, is at clean out. Truck number 4 is here.
Load number 4 is dumping. Number 5 is ready to go. Number 3 is still here in the clean out area. But they've started the screeding now. Got several questions online about them using a laser screed, and I asked them. They said this facility really wasn't big enough. It's very costly for them to rent one. I asked them a little more detail, and they said that one of their peers, I guess, has bought one, and if you can get one that'll do slope like we needed in the wash bay, costs about $200,000. So you can imagine the rent on something like that is not cheap, not cheap. And Eli says he can do a better job of screeding, make a better surface by hand than with a laser. Then there seems to be a little bit of a chuckle after he says that. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let's hope it doesn't puddle water.
The wash bay is the most complex area. We've asked for a 3.5-inch curb along all of the walls, of course not in the doorways, and then there's a 1-inch slope inward toward the main drain. The youngest member of the team is doing the floating. He takes his job quite seriously, and the pole is long, so it's not easy to handle.
It's 6 o'clock, 6 a.m.
That's
Okay.
truck number 6 there.
Number 7's waiting in the driveway.
Number 7 is waiting there in the driveway.
Yeah. One backs out to go wash out. The next one comes in. 6:17 a.m.
This is number 7.
The pumper's backed out far enough now that they can begin work on the forming of the last door here. They brought one huge set of lights. It's behind the camera here. You can see that that lights up most of the barn, and then the other 2 or 3 lights that I have on the old shop do a good job as well.
$6:27 a.m. So one's waiting at the end of the driveway. One is leaving, and one is here.
This is load number 8. We're still estimating 10 loads total.
And the time is 6:32.
So about an hour and 20 minutes they've been pouring. So he first uses his screed to connect the 2 points there on each side. Make sure that he's got that level. And then he does the crossways screed.
So they purposely do this little jut out.
They're covering the plastic seam there so that plastic doesn't roll back on them.
Okay. I don't know if you can tell, but it looks like it's pretty thick. The aim was between 5.5 and 6 inches. Truck number 9 was waiting. sun is just coming up. I don't know if you can tell, they're trying to manhandle that nozzle.
So I took all of 10 trucks plus an estimated 2 yards out of the 11th truck. I forgot to confirm how many yards are in each truck, but I believe it's either 9 yards or 10 yards. So either 92 or 102 yards.
So they're going to use what's left in the hopper out here. Not really formed, but it'll end up being underneath any exterior concrete we do later. He said this is not exterior concrete, it's interior, so this will not be the finish. There'll have to be exterior concrete put on the top eventually.
And that's why we are sending the 5 or 6 yards back out of the 11th truck. I wasn't prepared to have that much left over anyway. I didn't have anything formed up, and it's hard to make a quick decision on something so permanent. Now you might be tempted to think they're almost done. For example, Neil from Dig Drive DIY showed a concrete bin floor being poured last week, and once they had that grain bin floor floated smoothly, they left. That's not the case for this type of floor. In fact, their work is just beginning. Eli said they had put a little bit of retarder in the concrete mix so that it would cure more slowly and give them time to finish it, and it seems like that's working. Let's put it this way, I hope this is not the final look. If you look closely behind that form board he's pulling up, you can see the curb. That curb will come up behind the wall covering, so the wall covering will just come right over it and you shouldn't see any of it.
He's spraying it down with oil.
This green machine is set up in their most aggressive approach. It's got complete plates under it, so not just the fins for the final finish. This is intended to grind a bit on the floor and help to level it. Concrete's still really wet here, so he's spinning these very slowly. You can't have concrete without making some sort of notation, right? I told the guys they should have a set of template letters so that I wouldn't have to try to make my own. That's not very easy. I asked Christy if she wanted to write her name. She said, "No, that's okay, you can do it." It's looking pretty rough at this point. Let's hope it gets better.
It's 9:35 and they've taken the form off of underneath the big I-beam door.
This red machine is configured for finishing. They've asked me to get it down for them, so must be getting closer. I'm glad to see them relaxed and not hurrying around. It's clear that they're able to keep up with the concrete as it dries this morning.
Yeah. Sorry, no out today. Not till later. Maybe later in the day, okay?
I'm not sure who was taking the bigger risk here. Those guys for allowing me to drive their machine, or me risking messing up my concrete.
It's hard to drive. It's hard to drive straight anyway.
It's clear this finish work just requires an enormous amount of patience. The ride-on unit avoids a lot of the manual labor, but on the edges where they can't really reach with the ride-on unit, the walk-behind unit clearly isn't as much fun. And then there are some areas they can't reach with that unit. Most of those areas just didn't get hit that often. A few swipes with the hand trowel and that was about it. A couple of areas over on the left there you can see begin to shine just a little bit. But it's a long time before that shine really begins to come through across all of the floor. But eventually, here's what it looks like. This is after they've taken the power trowel off the floor, but we haven't put any sealer on it or had the cuts made yet. You can see that it's already a lot more shiny. However, you can clearly see the tracks that the power trowel made. Those are not indentions and you can't feel them at all, but you certainly can see them. Here's a good look at that curb in the wash bay wall.
I missed all the cutting, but I'm getting to see a little bit of the sweeping. The concrete's hot. You can feel it. I'm stock footed and yeah, it's hot. Here's what it looks like after they've applied the sealer. The sealer has some sort of chemical in it to make the concrete cure more slowly, they say. So typically you would want to use water and keep the concrete wet for a long time after it's been poured. But they said it really won't make any difference here because the sealer that they choose to use has chemicals in it to slow that cure, and the water won't really help it anyway because it won't get through the sealer. Christy, you're getting the first nasty footprints on our shiny floor.
Sorry. I think yours are doing the same thing.
No. Mine won't leave any footprints. Mine is.
No, you never have dirt on your feet.
Right. This looks pretty good. It's hot in here.
Yeah.
Given that it's cooling down outside right now, going to be a cool day tomorrow, but the heat off of this concrete is still strong.
But it looks great.
It's shiny. They put more of the sealer on than what I had seen other vendors do in the past.
Okay.
That sealer's expensive, but they sprayed it on real thick, and I've seen people be kind of
Stingy?
stingy with it, yeah. And I think this is going to be a lot better. It makes me not want to walk on it, Christy.
I know. I'm like, oh, I don't want to leave prints. And no, there are no cat prints. We made the cat stay inside inside the other shed.
There are a few imperfections. It's not, you know, a perfect floor by any means, but we're satisfied. This is better than what we needed by far. By far. Got a little curb here. You can see the curb to try to keep the water from going out of the wash bay. And again, the top of it didn't need to be perfect. They knew it, so they didn't worry about it too much. It just needs to curb upward right there at the bottom, and then we'll put a piece of siding right down there to the floor. Well, this is a major milestone, and I'm excited about it. There's some shops would be almost done at this point. A few light fixtures and doors, and they would call it good. We've got a lot of work ahead of us for ours. We've got insulation and a lot of electrical stuff to do.
Can we wait till it's cooler?
Inside walls. Yeah, we'll wait till this concrete gets cured fully before we do anything. Other than maybe some electrical work we'll get started on. But we're going to take a day or so off. We have been going crazy. Just need to rest a little bit on this project. Hope you guys have been enjoying this, and we will keep you up to date as we go along. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on
Tractor Time with Tim.
Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and the 70 elders of Israel went up and saw the God of Israel. Under his feet was something like a pavement made of lapis lazuli, as bright blue as the sky.
You have to stay inside. Is that okay, Bo? Yeah. You're really not minding, are you, Nope, not really.